Good morning, dear friends. So glad to see you. Good morning, dear friends. So glad to see you. Good morning to you, and welcome to a new week of Storytime in the Schoolhouse. I'm Miss Becca, and I'm so glad to have you here. Friends, today is Purple Day. It's Monday. On Purple Days, we have our circle time. We practice a breathing exercise, and then we get to hear a new story. The wind is blowing once again this morning. It seems like every day for weeks and weeks. The wind has been blowing during story time. Last week it was blowing especially hard, and we were hearing a story about a wild wind who also blew especially hard. That was kind of a cool thing to have happen. And now, this week we're going to hear the story about a lot of rain. So maybe this wind will bring rain, and we'll have rain this week for story time. I guess we'll see. Friends, let's get started with our circle time. We get to learn new verses to our songs and poems this week. We get to learn new signs to go along with our ASL poem. Let's get started. Good morning, dear Earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear stones and flowers, everyone. Good morning, dear animals and birds in the trees. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. Rinka, Ranka, Rosie Ray. Welcome, welcome, brand new day. Hearts are open wide. Joy shines on the inside. Rinka, Ranka, Rosie Ray. Welcome, welcome, brand new day. Hearts are open wide. Peace shines on the inside. Rinka, Ranka, Rosie Ray. Welcome, welcome, brand new day. Hearts are open wide. Love shines on the inside. Baby seedlings, wrapped up tight in their cozy nest of night. Gently, gently they will wake with a little springtime shake. Lady Spring, Lady Spring, widely loving everything. Gnomes will tug at each little root. Green will grow each little shoot. As the lovely leaves unfold, they'll put on flower caps of gold. Lady Spring, widely loving everything. Oh, spring, it is a shining shower of bud and shoot and leaf and flower, unfolding daily, one by one, their rainbow treasures to the sun. Pitter patter, look at all the rain running down the windowsill and down the window pane, sounding like the pitter patter of little fairy feet, running down the garden path and running down the street, washing everybody's shop. Pitter patter, when's it gonna stop? After the rain passes, the sun peeks out from behind the clouds, and the ponies start trotting, and the birdies start flying and whistling, and the puppies start shaking all of that rain off of their wet fur. In the springtime in the country on a sunny, sunny day, there's a family of ponies trotting on their way. Trot, said the father, trot on our way. So they trot and they trot on a sunny, sunny day. In the springtime in the country, 'neath the tulip tree so high, there's a family of birdies whistling as they fly. Whistle, said the mother, whistle and fly. So they whistle and they whistle 'neath the tulip tree so high. In the springtime in the country, when the rain has all passed by, there's a family of puppies shaking themselves dry. Shake, said the parent, shake ourselves dry. So they shake and they shake when the rain is all passed by. Drip-a-dip-a, 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 dip. Drip-a-dip-a, dip-a-dip-a, drip-a-dip-a, dip. Dripping, dropping raindrops falling on my head plops, and I'm getting wet. Drip-a-dip-a, dip-a, splishy, splashy, wet. Drip, 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 drip. Now who else enjoys the rain? Trees and flowers, grass and grain, all enjoy the rain. Drip-a-dip-a, 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 dip. Drip-a-dip-a, 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 dip. The earthworm and the creeping snail. The frog upon his mossy bed. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. All enjoy getting wet. Drip-a-dip-a, 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 dip. Drip-a-dip-a, dip-a-dip-a, drip-a-dip-a, dip. Rain washes all. Rain waters all. Rain, rain rings, and the whole earth sings. Friends, today is Monday. It's Purple Day. Today is the day that we practice our breathing exercise together. You can certainly practice this breathing exercise during other times. In fact, I encourage you to do so. If you ever feel frustrated or upset or overwhelmed, find the chance to take 3 deep breaths. And you can use one of these breathing exercises that we practice together during story time. This week, we are practicing one called wind breathing. We have learned other ones in story time before, and you can use whichever ones that you like the best. Today, though, let's all practice wind breathing together. We're going to breathe in and bring all the wind down into our bellies, and then breathe out. When we breathe out, I want you to move your arms like they're branches moving in the wind, and blow all the wind out your mouth. Are you ready? Let's do it the first time together. Breathe in through your nose. Bring all the air down into your belly. And bring your arms up, and now blow all that air out. That time we were like a really hard, ferocious wind. Let's do it again and bring all the air down into our belly. And bring your arms up and blow all that air out again. Let's do it one more time. And this time, let's let our air, our wind, go a little more slowly and move our arms more like a gentle breeze. And let's see what that feels like. Are you ready? Let's first breathe all that wind into our belly. And put our arms up, and now blow out. I hope that feels good to take some deep breaths. I see the sun, and the sun sees me. I see the moon, and the moon sees me. I see the stars, and the stars see me. I see all of you, and you all see me. Our circle is complete. Friends, now we get to hear a new story. Fire is bright, shining bright. Share with us your golden light. This time of year, when I go on my morning walk in the woods, I notice all the mushrooms popping up, especially after there's been a big rain. This week, we're going to hear the story of one little mushroom that pops up in the middle of a big field, and some friends who try to fit in under that mushroom together to stay dry. Let's see what happens. There was a young honeybee buzzing around a big field when it started to rain. The raindrops were big and they were coming fast, and this little honeybee looked around and thought, where could I hide from the rain? And then she saw a wee little mushroom sprouting up out of the field. So she flew over to the mushroom, and it was just big enough for her to hide under. So there she was under the mushroom, and that she thought she would just wait there until the rain stopped. But the rain didn't stop. It kept raining and raining. And a few minutes later, a little mouse came scampering up and said, I am so cold and wet. Please let me under this mushroom with you. The honeybee said, how can I let you under the mushroom when there's no room? Well, scoot over and let's try, said the mouse. The honeybee scooted over, and sure enough, there was enough room for the mouse to fit in under the mushroom. They sat there together, the honeybee and the mouse, and thought they would just sit there until the rain stopped. But the rain didn't stop. It kept raining and raining. And soon they heard something scampering on top of the mushroom. And then a squirrel looked down at them and said, I am soaking wet. Please let me under this mushroom with you. How can we let you under this mushroom when there isn't any room, said the mouse. Well, let's just try, said the squirrel. Scoot over. So the honeybee and the mouse scooted over. And the squirrel, sure enough, fit under the mushroom with them. So there was the honeybee, the mouse, and the squirrel, waiting for the rain to stop. But the rain didn't stop. It just kept raining harder and harder. And then they heard a commotion coming closer and closer, and then a hedgehog came scampering right up to the edge of the mushroom. There's a dog chasing me. Please let me hide under this mushroom, said the hedgehog. How are you going to fit under the mushroom when there isn't any room, said the squirrel. Please just scoot over quickly and let's try. So they all scooted over, and sure enough, the hedgehog fit there with them. Just moments later, the dog came running up, sniffing at the mushroom, and said, where is the hedgehog? The honeybee came buzzing out, and she buzzed around and around the dog, and she said, we want you to go back to where you came from and to please leave the hedgehog alone. Buzz, 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 she buzzed around the dog's head. So the dog turned around and headed back in the same direction that it came from. And there they stood under the mushroom, the honeybee, the mouse, the squirrel, and the hedgehog, waiting for the rain to stop. But the rain didn't stop. It just kept raining and raining. A few minutes later, a snail came by. And as she slowly moved by, the friends underneath the mushroom looked at each other and said, should we make room for the snail? The snail heard them, and she said, you don't need to make room for me. I'm always carrying a shelter on my back, and I can get out of the rain whenever I want. The truth is, though, that I don't mind the rain. And on she went. Sometime after the snail had left, the skies cleared, the rain stopped, and the sun came out. The friends underneath the mushroom came out too and looked around at the bright day around them. The honeybee buzzed around the mushroom, and she said, "Well, isn't this peculiar? When I first found this mushroom, it was barely big enough to fit me, and now all of us were fitting under it together." That's when they heard a chuckle from behind them, and the possum stuck her head out. "Oh, hello, friends," she said. "Didn't you know mushrooms grow in the rain?" And then she giggled again and disappeared. And all the friends looked at each other, and they looked at the mushroom with twinkles in their eyes, and they said, "Thank you, mushroom, for keeping us dry." And all was well in the world. Thank you, fire fairies, for giving us your light. That, my friends, was the story of the mushroom in the rain. I hope that you enjoyed it. I thought maybe it was going to start raining during our story, but it hasn't yet. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Friends, thank you for being here for Purple Day of Storytime. Tomorrow is Red Day, and we'll be back here in the schoolhouse. Then on Yellow Day, we'll be outside for Storytime, and we'll have a field trip. And on Orange and Green Day, we'll be back here in the schoolhouse, and we'll have a puppet show of this week's story. Friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I will get to see you again tomorrow. Know that you are loved. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Purple Day. Purple Day is the audio of our Monday episodes from Storytime in the Schoolhouse. If you're interested in listening and watching the rest of the week, try out a full week of Storytime on our website. You'll get access to one full week for each season, giving you songs and stories to share with your child all year. You can watch today, littleroundschoolhouse.com/sampler. That's littleroundschoolhouse.com/SAMPLER. I'll see you there.